Hey lovely lot, welcome back to my channel Sazzy Bella. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is just going to be a little vlog about being a young mummy, so being 16 and pregnant. I've wanted to do this video for a while now, just purely just to get my experience out there and what I found being 16 and pregnant and what I went through. And maybe this video will help any other young mummies out there that are pregnant at the moment, or even have just had a baby and 16, 17. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my video. If you do, please hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. So let's go. So as I said, this video is just going to be about me talking about being 16 and pregnant. I was 17 when I gave birth, but 16 when I got pregnant. When I found out I was pregnant, you're thinking you're 16, you'd have the normal reaction of, oh my god, I'm pregnant, what do I do? I just didn't feel like that at all. I thought about it and slept on it. It was something that I wanted, and I knew I wanted to keep my baby. And the more I thought about it, and it just sunk in, yeah, I'm going to be a mummy. This is what I want. So I told my partner I was pregnant, and he said to me that whatever I decide to do, he'll be there. So I decided to keep my baby. Telling my family though was quite difficult. Obviously, being 16, they were not going to be too chuffed about it. My dad has plans for me to, go to college, then you go to uni, then you meet someone, you fall in love, and you get married, then you have your kids. I sort of skipped a few parts and had the baby first. I did go to college. I was in college at the time, but obviously the uni and all that, I skipped all that, got pregnant. So, pregnant now. You go to the doctors to get signed up and, get all your information out. And I got signed up to a midwife in the hospital that specifically deals with teenage pregnancies. So, at my first appointment, I just hated it. As soon as you walked in there, she didn't have to say anything. I could sort of just see the judgment in her face of, you're 16, you shouldn't be pregnant, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, but no babies. So every time I knew I had an appointment, I hated going. I didn't even feel like I was like immature for my age. I felt I was quite mature. I was always, looking after my younger sister, so I always had that sort of motherly instinct. I went to all of my appointments, all my scans, did everything you were supposed to do. I personally felt I was quite mature about the situation, and I did everything that any other normal mummy, whatever their age was, would do. So, yeah, so I went to my appointments. As I said, didn't like it. Obviously kept going. I did enjoy my scan appointments though. I enjoyed seeing my baby on the big screen. I saw a different person each time who did my scans, and they were very welcoming, and that's one part of my pregnancy that I really did love. I loved going to my scans to see the baby, and obviously I got the little picture at the end of the baby after my appointment. Yeah, so I enjoyed going to them appointments. Obviously, throughout my whole pregnancy, my family were not very keen on it. I think it was more towards the end where it became very real for them. They started getting a bit more into it. But obviously, thinking about it now, I can see why they weren't happy about it. Obviously, you're 16, you shouldn't be having babies yet. Not old enough yet. But I definitely feel that they could see that I was taking it on really well. I did everything I was supposed to do, and they got more on board with it towards the end. And obviously, when baby came out, they were very, very different. Yeah, very supportive, and definitely even my partner's family were amazing. From the get-go, his mum was just absolutely amazing, helped me with everything I didn't know anything about. If I had any questions, I would never go to the midwife. I was always asking her or another member, what do I do with this and that. And yeah, I definitely had a lot of support at the time. Yeah, so towards the end of the pregnancy, when you go to, had one more doctor's appointment, and so you get checked over, you get asked all these questions. I remember her saying to me, is there anything you're worried about at the moment, or anything you want to ask? And obviously at this time I had a big belly, and the only thing I was worried about was, popping it out. So I was pretty scared about giving birth. And the thing she said to me will always stick with me forever. It wasn't exactly horrible, but it wasn't exactly useful. So she said, well, millions of women have done it over the years, so your body will just do it. You'll be fine. Obviously, as I said, it's not the most horrible thing she could have said to me, but it wasn't useful, and I was still as scared when I left my appointment. Obviously, I've been told that just listen to your body. Your body will tell you what to do. You just go with the flow. You're going to have loads of support there. You have all the midwives, the doctors, everything. But obviously, being is young and being pregnant and knowing it's going to happen, you're going to give birth, it's quite scary to think about. Yeah, so throughout my whole pregnancy, anyway, I went to all my appointments. As soon as the midwife found out I didn't want to breastfeed, that was another sort of judgment coming on. Because obviously, at the time, I was really worried that if I breastfed, my boobs would hit the floor after. I can tell you, after breastfeeding my two girls, it's not the case. So don't worry about that in breastfeeding. They say breast is best, but I personally feel as long as your baby's happy, healthy, getting enough milk, it doesn't matter if it's coming from your boob or from a bottle. It's your situation. It's what you're comfortable with. And personally, with my first, it was going to be bottle fed, because I was worried about breastfeeding, but I'm glad I did it with my other two. It was such an amazing experience, so much of a bonding experience with your baby as well. I loved every minute of doing it with both of them. I managed to breastfeed both my girls. I think with my first I did it up to 6 months, and the second I did it up to 4 months, purely because I just didn't produce enough milk, and they were quite hungry babies, so I was always combined feeding, so it was boob then bottle, and I just found I just couldn't make enough, so I was easing boob out and just getting more bottle. I'm gonna stop talking about my boobs now. But yeah, I'm really happy I did breastfeed my other two, and thinking about it now, I wish I did it with my first one as well. It's such an amazing experience, and I would definitely recommend it. It's a lovely bonding time you can have with your baby. It's absolutely amazing. Um yeah, so throughout my pregnancy, I had like the worst heartburn in the world. It was horrible. I got prescribed, I think it's Gaviscon. I didn't like it whatsoever, and I found that it didn't help at all. But I did find one thing that really worked, and that was milk. I drank gallons of the stuff. I think most of my pregnancy weight gain must have been from milk. It got rid of heartburn. It became one of my cravings. It was just absolutely amazing. I could have literally drink. It's so bad to say, but I drank like at least 2 pints maybe a day. It was crazy. I shouldn't have done that much, but it really did help with heartburn, because I had heartburn like 24/7. It didn't even matter if I ate something that brought on heartburn. I had it all the time. And also with morning sickness. I don't know why they call it morning sickness. It's not morning, it's all day. I had it when I woke up, I had it in the afternoon, I had it just before I went to bed. Certain smells brought it on. Certain, I don't know, when I went to certain places, like if I walked past a kebab shop, I wanted to be sick. Kebabs was like one of the things I couldn't stand when I was pregnant. If I could smell it, I was it. I'm throwing up. And it was so horrible as well, because even some things just didn't set it off. I would just be sick anyway. I don't know where it came from, but definitely it should not be called morning sickness. I was sick all the time. I did have cravings. I didn't really have it with my last two, but my first one I definitely did. So, as I said, the first one was milk. I loved it. And my second one was Bounties. The Bounty bar, chocolate bars. I ate so many of them. It's crazy. Um, I find it really funny though, because my son doesn't like Bounties, and I always thought, what mum eats when they're pregnant, the baby might pick it up after. Because my mum, when she was pregnant with me, she ate Mars bars and Bounties. So obviously I picked up the Bounty thing, but I'm not really keen on Mars bars. So I thought my child would pick up the Bounty thing, but no, he's not a fan of coconut. So he eats every other chocolate apart from coconut. Yeah, I think that's the only cravings I had. Yeah, and I told you about the morning sickness and all of that. Yeah, and I also found with my appointments, I never got told about the postnatal classes, the breathing classes, just useful information like that. I didn't get told about any of that like I did with my other two, which I find really annoying. Being a first pregnancy is something that I would have wanted to do, because obviously it would have prepared me a bit more for labor, because labor was definitely an experience. I never experienced anything like that before. I had no idea about what the pain was going to be like, or what contractions felt like. And I definitely feel if I got told about the breathing classes, it would have definitely helped me a lot more in active labor. Yeah, which I found really annoying. I didn't know whether that was because, I was a teenage pregnancy and maybe they thought I wouldn't be interested in it, but I definitely would have been. I didn't do it with my other two just because I knew what labor was like now. I knew how, to listen to my body and what I could handle, and I definitely have more of experience now of being in labour, so I don't feel like I need it. But I definitely feel for a first pregnancy, you should definitely go to them, because they would help you with labour, and definitely get some sort of techniques done that can help you and your body when you're in labour. Yeah. I definitely feel through my whole pregnancy, even not just going to the midwife appointments, even just going outside buying baby stuff, I felt a lot of judgment from other people I didn't even know, just because I was a young mummy who was pregnant. I felt very stereotyped just because I was 16, 17. And it wasn't a nice feeling, to be honest, because I said I felt I was quite mature. I did everything any other mum would do at any age during her pregnancy. I took my iron tablets, I went to all of my appointments, went to all my scans, checklisted everything, did my hospital bag, um, bought so much baby stuff. I think my first paycheck, I got the pram. The pram was I was most excited to buy, because I really, really wanted to get a really nice pram. So I went all out and got Mama's and Papa's pram. Then we got the cot, the mattress for the cot, tons and tons of clothes. I think every time we went to any supermarket, we just picked up loads of nappies and wipes and formula. Then we got bottles, and then the sterilizer, everything, anything you could think of, we got it. So yeah, every time I went to go and buy something, I did feel very judged at the time. And I feel just because you're a young mummy doesn't mean you wouldn't do as good as a job as an older mummy. I think, you pick things up as you go along. You don't know everything at once. You definitely pick things up. And I personally think, doesn't matter what age you are, you're a mum, you know your baby at the end of the day, you know what's best for your baby. And I really do live by that with all of my kids. I'm 28 now, have three. I definitely feel like I'm obviously got more confident the more kids I had, and compared to the first one to my third one now, I'm definitely with my third one. I just do it. I don't ask any questions. Mother's instinct, I know what I'm doing. Um, with my first, I definitely just pick things up as I go along. Obviously, if I had any concerns, I had people that I could ask. And honestly, like I didn't even know how to change a nappy. I had to be taught how to change a nappy. How much ounces of milk you give the baby, because obviously it gradually builds up. Um, the colour of poos they do. I had no idea what kind of poos they were going to do. When I saw it, I thought there was something wrong with the baby. Obviously, now I know it's just, their digestive system, and that their poos just mature, and get all the green sludgy ones. And then I'm going to stop talking about poo. But yeah, I had definitely had loads of questions. I had people I could ask. I personally feel just because you're a young mummy doesn't mean you can't do it. And I personally just wanted to do this video just to say, you're having a baby, you're gonna pick things up as you go along. I personally know what it feels like to be judged just because you are a young mummy. Your family might not be on board with it straight away. Your professionals that you see, the midwife and the health visitors might not like it as well. I think you've got this. I keep saying you pick things up, you know what's best for your baby, you have questions, you ask, And I just think as you go along, you just gain more experience and you get more confident. And obviously, I just think it's, you just pick it up as you go along. I mean, I didn't know anything at first, and now I could probably, I'm fine. I'm totally fine now. I know what I'm doing. Obviously, I still have things that if I'm still worried about, I definitely still ask. But I just think just because an age doesn't matter. I think if it's your baby, you know your baby, you can do it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say in this video. I just purely wanted to do this video, just, because obviously I've been through being 16, 17 and pregnant, and, obviously people are still, giving birth at 16, 17 now that might feel a bit judged or not doing a good job. I just wanted to do this video to say you're amazing. You know your baby, you're going to be an amazing mummy. Yeah. There's so much help out there as well. I mean, going to these classes, asking for help when you need it. Um, yeah, and even your midwife, or after you give birth and they come and see you, like I think it's literally like the day after, and then another 2 days they come and see you. There's always people around to ask questions if you have any concerns or you need some help with something. But I just personally wanted to say that it doesn't matter if you're 17 and it's your first baby, or you're 31 and it's your first baby. We're all mummies, we're all in this together. And I personally think it doesn't matter. It's, your baby, you know what's best for your baby, and anything if you have any worries or anything, ask. You can always ask, your family, or if or professionals. There's always someone out there to ask. So that was my video about being 16, 17 and pregnant. I hope you liked it. I've wanted to do it for a very long time. I mean, there's probably more that I could have said, but I'm just doing this on the spot and I can't think of anything else to say. Yeah, I hope you liked it. I've wanted to do it, as I said, and I will think of another video like this to do. Obviously, if I think of anything else to say, I might do a part 2 of this video, because I'm literally thinking on the spot, trying to think of any other experience that I could talk about, but at the moment I can't think of anything else. But yes, I will do another video if I think of anything. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, and if you are a young mummy watching this video, you've got this. You're amazing. You're gonna be amazing. Enjoy your baby, because they grow up so fast. It's horrible. I wish they would slow down. So yes, enjoy your baby. Stop worrying so much, and you're going to be amazing. I hope you like my video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.